travel isn't just about destinations, it's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Relebogile Mabocha, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place. Whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
702.
World of Work.
So on our World of Work feature today, I want us to have a conversation about LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn? And how has it benefited you? How have you found a way to maximize the benefits of LinkedIn as a professional? I mean, this is one of the largest social networks with a membership of over 930 million users worldwide. It's basically an essential platform for professionals. And yes, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, you've got more users there overall, but LinkedIn's business-focused audience is a valuable tool for job seekers. And the platform's membership is actually spread across countries and regions worldwide, which makes it an ideal platform for professionals looking for a global reach. So what's been your interaction with LinkedIn? LinkedIn profiles have become the go-to tool for employers to screen candidates before inviting them even for an interview, right? It's a chance for candidates to also showcase their experience. You can show your skills, your personality, and stand out from the competition. So I want to know, how do you make sure you are noticed on LinkedIn? What do you use LinkedIn for? How has it benefited you? And how much attention do you actually pay to your LinkedIn profile? Give me a call on 011-883-0702, WhatsApp line on 072-702-1702. Brendan Hope is a career specialist who's going to guide us through this conversation. How are you doing, Brendan? Good morning. Thank you for making time for us.
Good morning, Clement. Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to talk to your audience, to help as many people as I can, knowing what a powerful tool LinkedIn is. It's very, very valuable.
Yeah. Let's start perhaps by explaining to those that may not really know much about LinkedIn yet, why has it become such a powerful tool, especially in today's digital first world?
Well, I think the term you use there, digital, is the key thing. It's, very much taken over a lot of networking that we once would have done. And it's definitely made it possible to connect with people that you wouldn't have dreamed of connecting in the past. So, in that way, it's incredibly powerful. The other thing as well is that, it's your window to the world. It's your own personal, your own personal message, your brand. Yeah. So, and there's so many different ways you can connect and reach out to people.
Yeah.
And, according to statistics, over 1 in 3 professionals worldwide are on there. And that number's significantly increased depending on, industry. So if you are, depending on your industry, that number might be very close to 90% or above. Okay.
So how would you describe the difference between a LinkedIn profile and a traditional CV? And does that distinction matter?
I think the LinkedIn profile is more, about you. It's more about the person. It's more about, it's more about impact. They're very similar in ways, and that's why the two complement each other very much. But, there's other things that you can potentially add in different sections and things that you can get noticed, and how you present yourself is slightly different. And it also depends on your, not only your industry, but it also depends whether you're a job seeker, whether you are offering services, or whether you are offering, whether you're a business.
Mm-hmm. And we know LinkedIn, of course, has many, many, many users globally. The last I checked, over 930 million. What trends are we seeing in South Africa, especially when it comes to job seekers or professionals using the platforms? What have you seen as trends?
Well, the thing you have to look at is how prevalent AI is becoming. with LinkedIn. It's people are using it to create posts, to create content, to reach out to people. So we're seeing that we're seeing a lot more engagement with. Obviously it's always growing. Also what I'm seeing is, in South Africa, there's a lot of people are paying a lot more, or noticing that their LinkedIn profile is becoming, a very important tool to present themselves. And also with employees jumping there, they tend to navigate there once they've got your CV. So, having a strong profile is becoming increasingly important. In terms of, the reach is continuously getting more and more.
So, I mean, more than 90% of recruiters, you could argue, then use LinkedIn to vet the candidate. And I wonder how that has shifted the way people need to present themselves online, even if they're not actively job hunting.
Yeah, well, that's one of the most important parts of it, is the recruiter. And the relationship with the recruiter is obviously different when you're making an application, for a direct application to an employer. But your LinkedIn profile has to be very, it has to tick many boxes. I think that's the one thing also that we need to think about, is how, recruiters are going to assess your profile versus how employers are. Now, there's a certain, button on your profile. It's called Open To. When you click on it, it gives you options to fill in sort of, your job, your target roles, your locations that you're happy to sort of work in. I would make that, I would add as many as you can. I think it allows you to add 5 roles. It allows you to add certain, regions. I would put as many regions as you can. And then you can make it actually visible to recruiters. So they've got their own access and they can actually see who's open to work. So that's, a tool on LinkedIn that makes, that has been introduced specifically for recruitment agents, and that makes you a lot more visible to them. The other nice thing is there's a trick with that, is that you can actually remove it once a week and then restart it on the Monday, let's say. So if you delete it on the Sunday, restart it on the Monday, you get shown as a fresh candidate to them.
Yeah. I want to hear from some of our listeners now on 011-883-0702. Give us a call if you are on LinkedIn. What do you use LinkedIn for? Or are you one of those, like someone who's tweeted and saying, I set up my profile many, many, many years ago and I forgot about it? Or are you a type that's more intentional in as far as your usage, your presence on LinkedIn is concerned? You can send a WhatsApp voice note as well on 072-702-1702. We're talking about just how you can maximize your benefits of your LinkedIn platform. It's not just a place where you can just post about stuff that comes up, but that's an opportunity for you to really maximize the benefits of LinkedIn as a professional. If you're looking for a particular job in a particular sector, you want to attract some employers as well, there's an opportunity for you. So share your experience with us on 011-883-0702 or send a WhatsApp voice note as well. But to respond to this question, Brendan, of a listener who says they set up their profile a long time ago, forgot about it. What are some of the common mistakes that you see on profiles, things that could actually be hurting someone's chances?
Gosh, it's kind of where to start almost on that one. I'll probably start with the headline and the photo, because those are the two most important aspects of the profile. So the headline, what I see with a lot of profiles is the headlines haven't been optimized. Now, because it's the first thing the public sees, and it's what the public, how they make a decision on whether to connect with you or not. Having a headline that is filled with a shopping list of information for them. Think about it. You're a limited company in a way. See yourself as as your own service, and that you're offering this employee, you are solving problems for them. So imagine if the things I tell my clients are, if you had to disappear out of thin air, what problems would you leave behind in your role? That is, and how do you solve them effectively? So, can you build that shopping list starting there and, build up your profile? So starting with, for instance, your target role. So provided it's generic enough and you can claim it, can you put it there? And then can you list maybe your top 4 or 5 expertise? And then with the photo, what I see is Lots of issues with photos. I see people that, where it's hard to actually, your face should take up 70% of the space on your profile photo. What I see as well is I often see photos where they're quite zoomed out. You can't really see their features, or I see them not really smiling. It needs to be as inviting as possible. And, in good, smart, casual dress, looking happy, trying to entice them into your profile. So, if you look at the two biggest problems, those would be them.
Okay. There's someone here, Saint Nazy, who's listening from Cape Town, who says, Clement, I'm not a LinkedIn user anymore, but I know that people there, some of them have been scammed by fake online employers, and I just want to know, how do people there then protect themselves from scammers on LinkedIn? I suppose, I don't know, Brendan, how widespread this issue is, and maybe you can share some more, but is there a way people can protect themselves? What do they need to be aware of?
Well, this question has come up a few times for me. I mean, look, there are a lot of fake jobs out there. I even know someone, I know of someone who posted a fake job just to see who his competition was. And I know some, obviously a lot of recruiters might put a job on there. It might specifically be for CV mining or whatever it is that they're trying to do. I think it's just about being vigilant in terms of, when you're making the application, when you're setting up your profile, just try and avoid putting too much personal information on there. South Africans, we tend to put a lot of personal information on our CVs. All we really need on our CVs are, contact detail, just an area and region, email address and link to your LinkedIn profile. Okay. And that's probably about it in terms of personal information. And if you can retain that, then you can kind of, that could be a way of protecting yourself. Also when you're making the application, depending on the information they're asking you, don't give out any personal information until, you've gotten through to a stage where you are confident that they are the real deal. Okay.
Francois, you calling us from Melville. Good morning.
Good morning, Clements. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I use LinkedIn every single day of my life, and I've been using it for the last 6 years. I am a premium member, which means I pay an amount of money every month, but that money I pay is worth every cent. I make particular use of skills training. I'm a man of 66, and when I came across LinkedIn, it was like a godsend. And it's empowered me, and and the lecturers that I find there are brilliant. They are so good. I recommend everybody to go onto LinkedIn, especially if you want to train.
Yeah. What benefits come with being a premium member, Francois?
Well, I get my lecturers, any lecture. Like yesterday, I went into, I wasn't sure on Microsoft Teams. So I went into the lecture, and there's a lecture. The guy explains it all, and it's in perfect detail. It's not some guy sitting in a cap and say, "Hey man, let's go for it. Today we're going to do Teams." They do it very, very constructively and well.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. Francois in Melville, thank you so much. Brendan, being a premium member, is that what you advised? And what are the other benefits that come with that?
Well, I think if you're a job seeker, like Francois was saying, the learning benefits of it are incredible. And I completely second that. I think, from that perspective, it's worth the money alone. In terms of job seekers, there's a lot of ways you can go about it without paying for the premium. Premium also helps, I think, from outreach. So if you are trying to contact certain people, with certain job titles and doing, involved searches, premium can help with that. But there are ways around it. For instance, you can use Google to search for similar things, and you'll find their profiles actually visibly publicly there as well. So you're kind of getting the premium features, in that regard without actually paying for them. They do say your profile becomes 3 times more visible. And, of course, I've noticed that with premium. What really does help is engagement and, keeping your For You page filled with good content, commenting, and sort of reposting as well. That's a great way, and commenting on big influencers' posts, because the thing is that they've spent thousands of hours getting to that position. By you commenting and leaving feedback on there, that's almost like a prequel to their it's like a prequel to a movie. So it's kind of your opportunity to get very visible without having to have their stature on LinkedIn.
Let me read. Okay, let's start with this WhatsApp voice note, and I'll read some of the messages that have come through as well.
Good day, Clement. Good day, 72 Lenders. Abraham in Florida. Clement, for me with in LinkedIn, I was introduced by a lady called Beverly Wattenhood. She was very great with the presentation and advised me to start. She was doing a presentation rather, and advised me to download it and see. That's how I got my first job, my second job, and my third job. And really, it really worked out for me. I had an encounter where I was scammed, but I went into that scam with eyes wide open. I just wanted to see basically how these things work. And I was scammed of, I think, 250, being promised a job and all of that. And I just went there I consulted HR lady friend of mine, and then she told me that no, you shouldn't be paid, and I went there with eyes wide open.
Hi Clement, this is Garth. I'm in Benoni today. Just check with Brendan if this is a good platform for business too. I mean, I hear about CVs and finding jobs and looking for jobs and so on, but is this a great platform for promoting like small business, consulting and that type of thing?
Thank you for the question. Brendan?
Okay, so thanks. Obviously, the first one very interesting. Second, to answer the question, phenomenally important for business to have a presence on there. I mean, it's opened so many doors for me personally as a business, and the thing is, the way that you can connect with clients on there, it's it's pretty incredible. Clients come to me eventually. Once you build up that once you build up that level on your profile and that visibility, people actually come to you. So from that point of view, it's very important, in terms of consulting, and also sort of keeping your network together. So as a business, you'll have a lot of stakeholders that and to ensure that you are connected with them and you are keeping in touch with them, that can also lead to other doors, because if they understand what you're trying to achieve, they can potentially help you.
All right. John in Pretoria, hi.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Shop, man. Go ahead.
So I just heard this topic about LinkedIn, and I thought I'd weigh in. I have spent a lot of time thinking about which social media platforms are worth investing in terms of creating content. And I realized LinkedIn is definitely the best place to do that if you look at how much money you could possibly make from there. And another point I just wanted to add is, in my 20 years of my career, almost every single job has come directly or indirectly from LinkedIn. And the result of spending so much time on LinkedIn is you just get to meet a lot of recruiters, get to meet a lot of company owners. And now where I'm at, I'm focusing a lot on creating content so that I can get as many followers as possible and get as many job offers as possible.
Yeah, John in Pretoria, thank you for that. Brendan, as we wrap up, for graduates that are just entering the workforce, where should they start with their LinkedIn profile? And for also your mid-career professionals or executives, what should they be doing differently with their profiles to reflect their experience in leadership so they maximize on the benefits of this platform?
Okay, so the first one is for both. Just make sure that your profile is fully optimized. Go through each section carefully. Make sure that your profile, as I've explained it earlier, make sure you've set it up in that way. Get yourself a good banner. I like a good, the banner is probably the third most important part of your profile. I like to get a strong industry-related image, and then maybe your top 3 or 4 expertise, that you can bring to the role. And then the key sections to focus on are the about section, the skills section, which gives you about 100 skills. I would say at least 50 skills. And, the experience section has, I think 2,000 characters per role. So, just make sure that you've created a good online friendly version of your CV. And then also, what I would say with, executives is, start connecting with as many people as possible. Start, following groups, follow some of the key organizations you want to work with. Make sure they fill up your For You page, and make sure that you add, comment and, connect with people on there that are sort of, see who's commenting, see who would make a good connection. Can you reach out to them? Can you send them can you comment on their comments? Can you reply to them? So there's a lot of sort of less spammy ways of building a connection group. And then, the last thing I'd say, and this is for both again, for graduates, just make sure that you're posting. You can find articles, maybe that, about the industry that you're interested in, and maybe share it with your audience and explain to them why you're sharing that. And when you paste the URL in, it's going to bring the featured image in as well, which is great. It means you don't have to generate an image for it. And then for both, what I would say is find really good industry posts on your For You page that are being posted by, some of the target organizations or wherever, or influencers that you really like.
Okay.
Share it with your audience, okay? And then lastly, Clement, sorry, I don't want to take too much of your time, but the connections, all right? Great starting point. List as many people as you know that you're still comfortable sort of reaching out to. Send them a connection request. Don't write anything in the comments. Wait for them to connect, and then reach out to them and see how they're doing. And, at some point in that conversation, you can start talking about business and what you're looking to achieve, all of that. And then, you've got an army of connections that know exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Brendan Hope, thank you so much for your insights. He's a career specialist.